Hey everybody, hope this finds you doing well. This is Danelle here at Networkchain. Today we're going to talk about what happened during crypto week as we saw Bitcoin reaching all-time highs, Ethereum making a major move, and other news going on over the past week. Let's go ahead and get started with the cryptocurrency market update. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading at around $117,457. It's around flat over the past 7 days, but as I just mentioned, it did reach all-time highs at over 123,000 over the past week, and it's now settled back down to that $117,000 level. Ethereum currently up 26% over the past week. It's currently trading at $3,742, definitely eyeing $4,000. Many Ethereum holders are definitely waiting and have been waiting for a while to see Ethereum break that $4,000 mark. It did for a moment at the end of last year, but they're hoping that Ethereum will get back to all-time highs and continue to move forward, as we have gotten some great news in the Ethereum world, and we'll get into that in a moment as well. XRP, you can see it's also making a nice run. It's currently up 22%. It's trading at $3.45. BNB had a nice week, up nearly 10%. Solana up over 12%, currently trading above $180. Then you see Dogecoin, nearly 39% increase over the past 7 days, currently trading at 27 cents. Cardano up 17%, and Tron up over 3.5%. So we're seeing a lot of the altcoins now starting to make a nice run going into this coming week. We shall see if that run will continue, but we're seeing that Bitcoin had its nice run, went and hit all-time highs, and now we're starting to see some of the altcoins starting to make their moves as well. So if we quickly look at the Bitcoin daily chart, you can see here that earlier in the past week, last Monday, Bitcoin did hit $123,000. Then it started to settle down over the last several days, but we're seeing that Bitcoin has made that nice leap up, and we talked about this a number of times in our past videos, as we were saying that this was kind of looking like it was a consolidation range that we were seeing, and now that it has taken the next leg up, there's a possibility we could come back down and retest somewhere around 110, even potentially even come back down to these $100,000 levels. Who knows? Obviously, none of us know what the future holds, but it's definitely a possibility. So definitely be aware that even though Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs and it's seemingly doing it week after week, we do know that there's a possibility that we could have some downside in the future before we could potentially take some more legs up. So definitely stay posted here, as well as with us on X and IG, to get more information with what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. We can see, as I mentioned, Ethereum had a great week this past week. You can see it is now up above $3,700, and we saw that it had gotten up to over $4,600 in 2021. So we hit 4,000 in December of 2024. You can see that was just for a short moment, and it was short-lived, as we then went under 2,000 earlier this year. So Ethereum definitely has had a tough year, and so we'll see if it will continue to make that climb up towards all-time highs, and then if it will get a chance to have the opportunity to maybe even go up towards that $5,000 range. So time obviously will tell, but we're seeing that there's more institutional interest that is now coming into Ethereum, just like what happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs hit the market last January. Ethereum ETFs hit the market last June. So they're a little bit behind, but we're now starting to see a lot of inflows that are coming into the Ethereum ETFs. Also, Crypto Week was deemed, because of a lot of policy that was being made regarding cryptocurrencies in the United States, and it passed. The Genius Act passed through the Senate as well as the House of the Congress of the United States, and it was then signed into law by the president. And we can see here from the SEC.gov website, this is from SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce, The signing of the Genius Act into law marks an important milestone in an effort to bring regulatory clarity to crypto, a necessary prerequisite for innovation in our markets to flourish and for the American public to benefit from that innovation. The new law confirms that payment stablecoins are not securities, so that's important. People have voted with their dollars. Privately issued stablecoins already enjoy broad use as a payments mechanism, and the Genius Act is putting a regulatory framework around them, aiming to protect current and future users and the financial system. So you can continue to read the rest if you'd like, but you can see that the United States has now enacted this law to provide this framework for stablecoins, and stablecoins, a lot of banks are interested in having their own stablecoins because it is using blockchain technology. A lot of people believe that blockchain technology is not only much more secure than the payment rails that we have, the old payment rails of the traditional finance system, but also it provides faster transactions. So you can transact peer to peer, you can transact from a bank to bank much faster, when normally it can take several days sometimes to have money move from one place to another, from one country to another, from one person to another, from one business to another business. So it will provide that speed, and also it's cheaper when it comes to fees. It's a lot cheaper to use these stable coins on a blockchain as opposed to using a Western Union or some type of other cash transaction service that can be very high in fees. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity that these stable coins will present for not only people like me and you, but also for institutions and banks who are looking to have more secure and faster alternatives to be able to move large sums of money. Speaking of banks, you see here that Charles Schwab, their CEO, just recently came out over the past week and said that they will be offering crypto services very soon onto their platform. They had been mentioning it and had been intimating it over the past several years, but it looks like this is something that could be coming into fruition probably either by the end of this year or definitely most likely in 2026. So you can see that the Schwab CEO said that the brokerage is considering offering a dollar peg token. So they're looking to have their own stablecoin as the stablecoin market is poised to grow. So you can see here that they're interested in introducing their own stablecoin. Also, they're preparing to offer spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs to their clients outside of 401k plans, and they are also looking to offer other crypto services using the blockchain. So you shall see that other banks seeing here, Citigroup announced similar plans also earlier in the week. Also, JP Morgan has revealed that they're going to be developing a stable coin as well. So definitely the stable coin industry is continuing to see interest and going to continue to grow. And we saw with the public IPO of Circle, which is the issuer of USDC, that stock has done extremely well because of these banks and because of the interest in stablecoins. So that stock has done very well. And so we're seeing that a lot of institutions are really starting to pile in and are interested in getting into the digital asset market. Another evidence of that is through these Bitcoin ETFs, continuing to see the inflows that are coming in. You can see that last week they had a daily net inflow of nearly $800 million last Wednesday. And also, a lot of this had to do with the so-called crypto week that happened in Washington, D.C. and the passage of the Genius Act. Also, Ethereum saw some record highs in inflows as well. It had its largest day ever of net inflows of over 725 million last Wednesday as well. And then they also had a week of nearly $1 billion of money come into the Ethereum ETFs. And that's the most that they've ever had in a single week since it's been on the market in June of 2024. So now that we have learned that companies are now interested in having their own Ethereum treasury companies, so similar to Strategy, which we've talked about many times, and the miners and a lot of the other public companies that have been stacking sats and stacking Bitcoin to have on the balance sheet, Now we're seeing companies and corporations that are interested in stacking Ethereum, which is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap. It's a smart contract platform, so there's a lot of flexibility. Ethereum allows you the opportunity to be able to create smart contracts not without the use of a third party. So, and this all is automatic on the blockchain. So there's a lot of opportunity for Ethereum. And one of the companies that have gotten, or a couple of the companies, I should say, that have really gotten a head start in adding Ethereum to their treasury is Bitmine, and Bitmine has now become popular. It used to be a Bitcoin miner, has now decided to switch over to Ethereum. BitDigital is another miner that has done the same as well. They have now gotten into buying Ethereum, and it became well known because of a popular financial analyst and investor, Tom Lee, and he is speaking about Bitmine. He's also on the board of this particular company. They now hold over 300,000 Ethereum. Sharp Link Gaming, also known as SBET, they have over 280,000, and both of these companies have intimated that they plan on holding a significant part of the Ethereum supply. Tom Lee has mentioned that they want to get up to 5%, and SharpLink, I believe they have goals similar as well. So we shall see as they continue and start really their journey in adding more Ethereum to their balance sheet. As you can see here, Bitmine Technology, the company has rallied, the stock has rallied given the announcement of Tom Lee several weeks ago, and the fact that they continue to add Ethereum to the balance sheet. Also, Peter Thiel has invested 5.09 million shares into Bitmine, so that also was another catalyst for the stock to continue to rally over the last several days. So we are seeing a lot of action, a lot of movement in the cryptocurrency space. As you can see here, the altcoins are starting to make a move. Now people are considering that there's a possibility that finally the altcoins will have its rally and altcoin season is upon us. Obviously, that still remains to be seen. It's still very early, but it definitely is showing some indication of a possibility of a little bit of movement, and we're starting to see that from this past week. So continue to stay tuned here on Networkchain as we provide you videos and updates every week here on YouTube, as well as nearly every day on X and IG. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we look forward to linking up with you soon on the Networkchain. Bye-bye.